Hello, Dave Snyder here. It is the 27th day of August 2015, and I've got this beautiful alignment to show you, but I haven't looked at Wonder Maps yet, so I just want to take a look at that real quick and see what we got going on here. We've got some pretty nice weather right here. And if you've been subscribed to my channel for a while and been watching my videos for a couple years now, you remember that my rant video where I pointed out Mare Oriental right here. I'm just bringing that as just something, a little side note here. But remember that day that I saw that weather there, and I had Mare Oriental overlaid over here, and I was like, oh, look at that hole, look at this, look at that, look at that. And I brought that crater right over there, that reverse crater on the moon, Mare Oriental, and I put it right here, and it just was absolutely perfect, no question about it. So anyways, we've got some pretty neat weather here. I just want to show you this one that I did the other day, though. I'm trying to get up to that one. And it's this weather pattern here. It's always here like this. It's always really interesting, very interesting area. And basically, this is the real Ring of Fire, if you ask me. You'll see in a minute when I show you the overlay that I did with this, which is right here. This is from the other day. Let's see, the 25th. It was weather right there, right here in this location on the Earth, and this is like a big ring of fire right here. This is all showing the monsoon weather, but that monsoon weather is taking the shape of the Earth's surface. That's what this is. This shows is being projected as most people that have watched my videos already understand what I say about that is the weather is projected from the Earth's surface into the sky to match the surface of the Earth. Like you see this weather right here inside the Himalayas. Okay, and the whole Tibetan Plateau is shown here in the weather right there. All those clouds, if you were to take the land away, you would know that was the Tibetan Plateau and this was that desert, and you would know the Himalayas were there because the weather shows that. Even if the land was not there, if you took the map away, you would still you would know that if you follow the weather, you would know. You could take the land away, and I would know exactly where this goes. I'd say, oh, that's the Bay of Bengal, and those are the Himalayas. There's that desert. You wouldn't even need the land in the picture, and I could tell you. So that's what I'm trying to say is that weather is projecting the surface of the Earth into the sky as a weather pattern or clouds or whatever you want to call it. Okay. Well, behind here I have this picture of the Mare Oriental Basin, and I got it set in place, and it's really stretched out over the entire Earth. You can see it. It's backwards. I have it reversed already. It's overlaid here in near Africa, as I've been showing for a while now. You can see it's ways up my list. I just put it right here because it's in basically the perfect spot right here. This is the best spot that I've found for it so far, this picture anyway. And it's accurately sized. Accurately sized. Because you'll see when I put this picture up there, or actually it's already up there, but when I bring this up, that land this is on the Earth. Look, this is the Earth. That land is that size on the Earth. This is the same size it is in its actual location, which is right up here. Okay, so that is the same size as it is on Earth. So that shows, if this fits the moon perfectly this way, what does that tell us about the moon? I mean, it just took me a second to throw this up there because I already know I have to put that spot with that crater in this spot. There's always, well, usually a spot for that circular crater there. So I just put those two together, and then, the whole thing will fit every day. I know I've said that 100 times, 1,000 times maybe, but every day. So what you can do is, if you don't believe me, or believe that the moon has hit the Earth or has shaped the entire Earth, if you don't believe that, this picture right here is from NASA. You could go to the Lunar Atlas website where they have all the Apollo pictures, everything. This is from 1978. It's a drawing of Mare Oriental Basin, and it's really accurate, really interesting. It's really well detailed. It matches the Earth perfect every day. I mean, all I did was line those two spots up, and look how the rest just fits on its own. It just fits that way on its own. And you can go through the details. It may be hard to see the way you're viewing it or whatever, but you can see you'll see how everything is shaped. Then, on top of that, I have also already this I threw up just the other day. You see, it's the last overlay I did, and this is over the top of this Mare Oriental that I call Mo Perfect. It's been there for months now, or at least a month and a half or something. So it's right there, right? Now I got this other picture called Lunar South Pole Indian Ocean right here that was done just after this one, right? It's a ways up my list. And it's not adjusted to this picture or that picture. It's just up there. I don't remember what I put it up there to align it to, but here you go. I turn that on. With this, I align this picture to this Mare Oriental picture. Just that. That's it. This is a after, a side thought here. Okay. And remember how we always see this lunar South Pole pattern here by China this way, with it backwards, upside down, or whatever you want to call it. It shows itself. That one that I showed in 2014, it shows Schrodinger here with the whole lunar South Pole over this area just like this. And look how it aligned itself. It did that on its own. So it's aligned to both pictures of the moon, of the surface of the moon. Mare Oriental Basin perfectly, and the lunar South Pole near perfect. I mean, that is the same thing. You can get in there, you can see the craters, the circular craters in this picture of the weather. See that right there? Look. Ooh, nice. And I didn't line these together. These are not even done together at all. They just, you bring up, you stack the pictures is what you do. You basically stack. You get one set in place, which is the moon, this one here. You get that set in place, and you find a place that it actually goes, and then you leave it there. After that, you put everything that you find that's interesting in the weather, that's circular, that that you think will fit or whatever, and you put it over that crater. You just do that. You put it over that crater picture. Make sure the crater's backwards. You overlay it anywhere you want if you want to. But I have it overlaid here because now that I have it overlaid here, I can stack up all my images here, right? And I can take that picture away. And now I can look at all these pictures of the land that I've got overlaid over that picture over the Earth. You take that picture away and I can see how they fit. And you'll see things that are very interesting when you do that. Like here's this weather pattern showing these lines that are in Africa. Watch. Okay, and there's also a round spot right here in Africa that they're not showing very good in this picture, but you can see it in other images of Africa. Let me show you. Africa, over Africa. See that circular spot right there? That's what I'm talking about. So anyways, I recommend people do that because you're going to see something like the weather today. For example, I could take that picture right now. I could save this image, and I know people have seen me do it a bunch of times. I could take this image and put it right over that other image, right over the same one, and it'll fit differently, but it will fit absolutely every detail. Every detail will fit. No kidding. And that one's aligned to that one, as you can see. That's the same crater, different picture, but same, just almost perfectly aligned together. See that? This just shows the whole moon, basically the whole side of that moon, and this just shows that crater. So let's check this out over that with that picture that I just showed you a second ago here. Look at that. Pretty nice. Let's take a look at this desert and see what's going on. I seen something just now. See something there. Oh yeah. See the curves, how the curves all just happen to match. You got the same curve right in here. I'm telling you people, you want to learn the truth about the planet Earth, you can rebuild the whole Earth with just that picture of the moon. Just this picture right here, you can rebuild every continent. There's a hot spot on the Earth that creates continents, or a couple of them actually. There's a couple of hot spots on the Earth, and this is one of them right here, near India and China. That's a definite impact zone right there, where the hot spots are still under the ocean and under the land, showing themselves in the weather today, right now. This weather right here is showing you that hot spot where that impact took place. This area has been over it, which is here, or is over it now, but there's other areas on the Earth that have been in the same place where this hot spot is, and I'd say Africa is one of them, wouldn't you? Say it with me. Africa is one of them. Just kidding. That guy cracks me up. Say it with me. Can I get an amen? That's great. I think that's so funny. Can I brainwash you any more? Can I get an amen on that? I'm not trying to brainwash anybody. I'm just trying to show you what I find. Like this spot right here, you can see that's like an impact spot, and it just is. It was in the same place as this at one time. They were all kind of sprouted from that hole. The continents did, and you could put every continent like I just showed the other day. The pattern here, and I'm going to show you real quick again because there's one there right now. Right there in the center of North America, I just showed you an overlay, a video where this goes in the same crater, Mare Oriental, right in the center. So you could take this whole North American continent and put it right there too, right next to Africa, and it's all the same thing, all the same hole on the earth created all these spots. This spot right in the center of North America created this spot right here where the Bay of Bengal is. It created this spot right here next to Africa, and maybe at different times, maybe all together. You know, who knows? I'm not checking rocks and things like that. I'm just pointing out what the weather shows, what the actual Earth is showing, and what the moon is showing, basically. So that's it. Like I said, you can rebuild every continent with that. That crater goes up here. It will go everywhere. That Mare Oriental Basin is just as important as the lunar South Pole, if not more. I mean, if not more. I didn't even notice the lunar South Pole till well after I was using Mare Oriental and had gone very far with. I'm still learning on Mare Oriental, but the lunar South Pole was quite obvious last year, and the year before it was very, very obvious in the weather, and it's less obvious today. It's a little harder for people to see that don't already know about it. If you don't already know about it, the way that it shows itself in the weather, then it's less common to see it nowadays than it was a year ago. I mean, you could see, a year ago, 2 years ago, you could see it so perfect. You would see Schrodinger so perfectly in the weather. It was a perfectly round circle, and you don't see that anymore. You see these things, like you'll see the typhoons, of course. Those are the same thing. Those typhoons are from Schrodinger, but you don't see them as defined as you did before. So they've already taken care of that. They're hiding the craters and stuff like that in this white stuff. So anyways, it's I recommend the Mare Oriental. Put it right there. The way you can go back in my videos, I show you how to align it. Once you align it that way over next to Africa right here, the way that I showed you, then you can stack those images up there, take away that picture, and everything should fit right here next to Africa. Even though it didn't necessarily happen right here, you know, in this spot, it could have been. It's weird that way. The Earth definitely works in some kind of layering system, which would have to be a result of some kind of massive eruption from something like the moon hitting the Earth or something. It would have to create these big giant layers of continents and plates and things like that. I would think that's what happens, something like that, like the deepest place on Earth. You can see that there was something there, you know. That's definitely a thin spot on the Earth. It has to be, since the continent that was there is gone now, and just islands are there. But anyways, long enough. Just want to show you that overlay. Want to see it one more time? No, probably not. All right, have a good day.